Some time ago, I did the Freedom map on the suggestion of the Venusaur Lord, Kalitas. Well, they're back with another interesting suggestion, Irrational Hostility, daring me to do it in 9 days, or maybe even fewer days, which they claim is impossible this time. Well, I'm a big Adidas fan. Please sponsor me? So for me, impossible is nothing. Unless it is impossible. Let's see if we can beat 9 days. Irrational Hostility is a small map, my favorite. In the overworld, we can find red in the east and blue to the west, both in snowy terrain. Red's zone is extremely small and has no roads, only a sawmill and ore pit for mines, but with a tier 4 creature dwelling right next to their town. Not great. Blue's zone is a bit bigger. It has all mines present, as well as their own tier 4 dwelling. And notably, there is no guard in front of Red's subterranean gate, while there is a tier 3 creature guarding Blue's. These gates are the only way to reach the other colors. There's also a couple of neutral zones in the overworld, but they'll play no part for me. In the underground, we can find green in the north and orange in the south. Both colors have access to all mines, but they're quite far apart for such a small map. Orange is near the subterranean gate to Blue's territory, while green is close-ish to the one going to the red zone. There's not much more going on in the underground, no creature dwellings, no incredible neutral objectives, just a few primary stat level ups. A fairly basic map. I like it. Instinctively, I wanted to play either blue or red, and fairly linearly go through the map, as I didn't think I could succeed by doing a 2-pronged attack from the underground. But after some deliberation with myself, I wanted to give the dual attack a go, as it would definitely be faster. So, which is better, green or orange? If we take a quick look at green's territory, we can see that it's quite open and quite far away from the gate to the red zone. So, by playing orange, I would risk taking quite the detour looking for green's heroes, making no real map progress. I could spend several days taking out green before even going for red. Comparatively, orange is quite boxed in, limited by the tier 2 crystal cavern guard to make progress on the map, and the subterranean gate is very close to the town. From this information alone, I think green is better. So, green it is. Now, I need 2 heroes strong enough to attack their respective targets. Both heroes need to take on several fights before reaching their goals, and in my opinion, the only faction with multiple very strong early game heroes is Conflux. Conflux has access to a multitude of good heroes, CL, Luna, and every other elementalist as long as you can build a mage guild due to their 3 spell power and 3 knowledge start, as well as the fastest starting hero in the game, Monair, who also has great offensive capabilities. If I can find a seed with melee creature guard fights, Luna will be an excellent hero, as she only needs some sprites to be effective. She could, hypothetically, take on red with only sprites. Then I can also use Monair's mobility and hand-to-hand abilities to use the remaining starting armies of both heroes to attack orange and blue, as sprites plus air elementals is a very strong combination. Maybe I even manage to get even more army somehow. To maximize my chances of success, I just need to make all the enemies weak early game factions, and I'm ready to give this a punt. So, red and blue as Necropolis, as they are weak early and not native to snow terrain to slow them down. Check. Orange as Tower, as they only have melee units early, which is good for Luna. Check. Me as Conflux and Monair, and I will look for Luna in the tavern. Check. Gold bonus, as I need gold to fund my early strategy. Check. Let's just give it a go. Remember to like, comment and subscribe to help me grow. The algorithm gods demand it. Thank you. In order to find my preferred seed, I enter the nearby familiar fight and reset 3 times. I then leave the pixies in town before heading out with Monair to get gold from the chests. They provide me with 3000 gold in total, making me afford Luna, who is my Conflux Tavern hero on this seed. I upgrade the magic lantern as well as the 41 total starting pixies into sprites, and recruit all the sprites I can afford, which is only 6, and leave the 2 water elementals from Luna in town. Luna then heads for the learning stone, getting the best skill in the game, logistics. before she avoids the hobgoblins and immediately sets her sights on the subterranean gate to Red Zone. Monair, after some deliberation, semi-follows her, but ends just behind the arena, which he will not visit. Luna then attacks the storm elementals on day 2, who all join for free. The strongest level 2 creature wanna come along? Sure, I don't mind. She waltzes over to Monair to give him the stormies and air elementals she kept on her person, before actually going for the subterranean gate. No fake outs this time. Monair, on the other hand, just casually strolls south towards Orange, but nothing really happens for him this day too. Monair goes for the zombies blocking the path to Orange, which is a fairly simple fight. There's basically no strategy here, just go in as offensively as possible and kill them, easy peasy. Theodorus of the Orange faction just waits just outside their tower town, which is very handy for me. I wait on turn 1, letting one stack get in full shooter damage range, and I hit them twice with my stormies, and then they fly into range of my air elementals, who take them out. Now only the slow gremlins are left. 2 lightning shots only leave 7, easy pickings for the hungry air elementals. Leveling up into advanced offense is nice, and Monair can just stroll into their empty town afterwards, vanquishing Orange. I have some movement points left on Monair, so I decide to take on the subterranean gate guard to blue, water elementals. Only 12 of them, but auto lost a bit too much for my taste. I want to keep the stormies alive. I try to lure them a bit up after they move with my air elementals, and hit the waters twice in a row with the stormies. Unfortunately, they go for the stormies, so I have to kite. I use a few turns to lure them around, but I make a couple of lazy moves, as this was my about 15th attempt at this map in a row at this point, which ends up almost costing me down in the bottom right corner, when the water elementals can reach no matter where I move. So I just let it rip, Beyblade style, and hit with both of my stacks. Incredibly enough, both of my elemental stacks survive, and I can resume the kiting, which I do less lazily this time. After using a few turns to create some distance, I shoot a couple of lightning bolts from the stormies to finish the fight. I got a little bit away with it there. Next stop, the overworld. Luna is one step ahead of Monair. Kinda. She will be after the griffin fight. This is a pretty interesting fight for one simple reason. I have no clue what entices the griffins to fly into a firewall. After waiting on turn 1, letting the griffins move forward, I move into the top corner. I wait again on turn 2 and hit the only stack which can reach the corner, taking out 2 out of 3 birds. I return to my corner as a budget harpy hag and let the one griffin take out 2 of my sprites, while the rest of the griffins come eerily close. Now, it's firewall time. I place it right in front of the sprites and wait. But only 2 stacks make themselves into a delicious meal of KFC. Anybody know why? Because I sure don't. I finish off one of the uncooked chicken stacks and return to my corner on turn 5. Then this happens. One of the 2 stacks fire themselves. Not both. So confusing. Anyway, I finish off the last griffin stack, only losing 2 sprites and only casting 1 firewall. Good fights. Luna is now one step ahead of Monair for realsies. In the overworld, I see 2 red heroes, Verdish and Moandor. Moandor has the biggest army, so I take him on first. Thankfully, the battlefield layout is quite nice for kiting and for firewalls. But unfortunately, Moandor has slow, which he uses on turn 2, so I will lose more sprites than against a number of other necro heroes. I slowly hit the 4 vampires, taking out 2, but they are faster the next turn, killing 7 of my sprites in return. It's firewall time again. I set it up right behind this little boxed in spot and fly into the pocket. The whites follow, losing 4 to the fire, and the final one to a sprite retaliation. I wait the next turn, letting the vampires fry themselves as well. The firewall will expire the next turn, so I either need to start kiting or use more mana on firewalls. After hitting the skeletons, I decide on the firewall, as it's quicker. So I set it up, fly into the pocket, and take a small skeleton hit after they pass through the wall. The gnolls die to the fire, but the Walking Dead won't all die, so now I have to kite. This is a very quick and easy process, as the Walking Dead are such weak creatures. They only take 3 hits to die, but I lost a fair few sprites here. Suboptimal. Thankfully, Verdish is taken out lossless by auto, so it's still looking pretty good. Ending the turn, Blue shows up in the underground, just narrowly not reaching my tower town. I don't want to move backwards with Monair, so instead I use the little gold I have to hire Malcolm, who blazes past Galthran, Blue's hero, to get Monair's army. Malcolm takes on Galthran after I struggle to an embarrassing degree to move my dwarves into the spot I want. Seriously, what the actual hell am I doing here? Hashtag millennial mechanics, anyone? Eventually, I get my army into the correct spots and take on Galthran. Otto wins convincingly, and I could accept, but just in case of something unexpected in the overworld, I do it manually. My goal here is to use Malcolm's Rampart army as fodder while keeping the elementals alive. So I let Galthran move his undead dudes and dudettes forwards. Whites have to be female, right? Before I use the 1 stack of dwarves to protect my stormies, and send the 1 stacks of centaurs to bait the skeletons back. And I also use the air elementals as stormy guards. The stormies hit the nearest target of vampires, taking them out in 2 clean shots, and I further move the centaur 1 stacks away from the stormies. I'm a little bit too successful, as the whites also moved back out of full shooter damage range, but oh well. Thankfully, the strong skeletons are furthest away, and the whites fly back into full range, which the stormies take advantage of by eliminating them in 2 shots. Only the skell is left. I use the final centaur stack as bait, keeping the stormies very safe. The skeletons come into range, taking 2 shots, leaving 32 alive, undead, who knows, present I guess. Incredibly enough, 1 whole centaur lives to tell the tale of the great skeleton onslaught, as the stormies get the final shot in on turn 9. Galthran was definitely weakened by the gate guard fight in the overworld, which is Royal Griffins on this seed. Lucky me. Malcolm is 1 step off of reaching Monair again, so Monair has to use some movement to get his army back. Extremely luckily, I find another blue hero right next to the road, Nimbus. She's just swept aside by Otto, and I find my way over to Blue's unguarded town. Walking in. Vanquishing Blue. Not too shabby. Over to Luna. She wades through the snow towards Red's town, finding it guarded by none other than Uncle Sandro. What a twist. Otto wins, so let's see how he finishes the scenario off. As always, by going all in on turn 1. Playing like this should be a war crime, to be honest, but it works, somehow. Our 2 beloved recurring characters battling it out, and thankfully, Otto wins, losing a massive 27 sprites. Well done, Otto. A late level up into advanced fire magic, and Red is vanquished. I'm victorious. In 4 days. 448 score and Archangel rank? Yes please. This was really fun to map out, and extremely lucky to find such a good seed. I originally looked for good seeds with Luna as the starting hero, hoping for a good tavern hero. But after having no luck, I at one point just said, F it, and tried to find Luna with Monair as my starting hero, and it actually worked. So that's really lucky. Even while being lucky, I feel I'm getting better at this low turn count thing. Anyway, quite a bit faster than 9 days, eh, Kalitas? Thanks for the excellent challenge, and I hope you post your secret strategy in the comments. As always, if you enjoyed, please like, comment and subscribe. You can even become a channel member for earlier access to videos now, so do that if that interests you. I hope to see you next time, and that you have a might and magically good day. Bye bye. As always, a huge thank you to all my channel members, and a special shout out to my Ballista members, Escubani, Lika, Van Lunis, and Rick Vissout. Thank you very much, guys.